Hello viewers, thank you so much for joining me on this channel. London, the capital of the United Kingdom, is one of the world's most expensive cities to live in terms of cost of living. Despite knowing this, I found out while staying in London for a short while that some of the best places in London are absolutely free to visit. Let's find out more about this in this video. When I went to London, I divided the places I wanted to visit under the following descriptions: parks, palaces, markets, museums, and stadiums. In this video, I'll only talk about the parks. All the famous parks in London are completely free to enter. Knowing that I wanted to visit a few parks in London was one thing, and actually getting to those parks was a completely different thing. Thankfully, I had help in the form of this beautifully illustrated map made by Transport for London. Just one look at this map and anyone could easily understand how to go from A to B. I'm just kidding. This map did not help me one bit. I reminded myself that I was living in the 21st century and I downloaded an app called Citymapper. Of course, Google Maps can also help you go from A to B in London, but I felt the user interface of Citymapper was particularly helpful in this regard. The first park that I visited in London was Kensington Gardens. Excitement got the better of me and I shot a poorly recorded video immediately after reaching Kensington Gardens.
This is Kensington Garden. Look at the swans. Look at the swans. Ducks. Swans. Wonder how close he'll.
Once I was able to come to terms with the fact that I was in fact in London, I reminded myself that I was in Kensington Gardens. Kensington Gardens also has the famous Kensington Palace, a palace where Princess Diana once lived. You can see the Kensington Palace in the distance here. So I decided to walk up to Kensington Palace. Sure enough, when I reached Kensington Palace, I was greeted by this sign which confirmed that yes, Kensington Palace in fact was home to Britain's young royals for the last 300 years. Once upon a time, Princess Diana lived here, and I believe now Prince William and Princess Kate live here. This was the picture I managed to click of the Kensington Palace. I did not enter Kensington Palace because that is not free. The next park that I visited was Green Park. I took the Piccadilly line tube to Green Park, and this is a picture from platform level which helpfully points out that Green Park is very close to Buckingham Palace. This is a view of the Green Park station from street level. This is Green Park. Beyond the greenery here lies the famous Buckingham Palace. However, you will not get a glimpse of Buckingham Palace in this video because this video is not about palaces. This video is only restricted to parks. The next place that I visited was St. James's Park. St. James's Park, along with the Green Park and some other parks, constitutes what is called royal parks. There are 8 royal parks in London. Basically, royal parks are the places where the royals used to hunt, but currently they are mostly places which are open to the public so that they can exercise, enjoy greenery, enjoy a time out in the sun, whenever the sun is available in London. St. James's Park today is known for its friendly fauna, especially the swans, the ducks, and the squirrels. Although technically Sky Garden is not a park, but I would like to include it under the description of parks for 2 reasons. Reason 1, it does have a garden, and reason number 2, it is completely free to enter. Sky Garden is present in the City of London. City of London is the financial hub within London. Sky Garden is present in this building which is affectionately called Walkie Talkie by Londoners. The actual name of this building is 20 Fenchurch Street, but in my opinion Walkie Talkie seems to be much more appropriate because it looks like a walkie talkie. Sky Garden is present in the top floors of this building. It is basically a garden in the sky which gives a beautiful view of the London skyline. The best thing about Sky Garden, apart from the view, is the fact that entry into Sky Garden is completely free. The only catch is you need to book your slots 3 weeks in advance. This is the view one can get from Sky Garden. This is the Shard, the tallest building in the United Kingdom. This is the London Bridge. This is Tower Bridge. This is the Tower of London, and this water body here is the River Thames. The next park that I visited was a park called Hampstead Heath. Historically speaking, Hampstead Heath happens to be one of the favorite destinations of Karl Marx when Karl Marx lived in London. Bram Stoker's Dracula also has references to Hampstead Heath, and the famous movie Notting Hill also has some references to Hampstead Heath. It is a beautiful park which has some ponds and this beautiful building. Mostly Hampstead Heath is untamed territory. It can be mistaken for a bush, but it's an amazing place to visit. It's in North London, and I strongly recommend that you visit Hampstead Heath if you have the chance. The next park that I visited was the Regent's Park and Primrose Hill. This map is worth looking at. If you want to visit one place in London, you can just choose the Regent's Park and just walk along the periphery of this park, and you will cover some of the most famous tourist attractions in London. Just on this map, you can see Madame Tussauds here, Baker Street of Sherlock Holmes fame here, somewhere here would be Lord's Cricket Stadium, and somewhere nearby would be Abbey Road Studios of the Beatles fame. Inside the Regent's Park, you get to see sports pitches, you also get to see the London Zoo, and Primrose Hill is a very famous destination from where you get a beautiful view of the London skyline. And yes, all of this is completely free. This is a picture of one of the sports pitches inside the Regent's Park. The Regent's Park is also part of the Royal Parks. As mentioned before, Regent's Park is a park which actually contains the London Zoo within it. That explains how big the Regent's Park is. This is a picture of Primrose Hill. On the left is the view of the Primrose Hill from before I began the ascent, and on the right is a view from the summit of Primrose Hill. In the distance, one can see the London skyline. This building here is the Shard. This semicircle thing is the London Eye, and maybe in the distance you can understand this is the St. Paul's Cathedral. I envy this man. I want to grow up and be able to live like this man who can calmly, cheerfully, without a worry, sleep on this grass in the middle of the day. I envy this man a lot. The next place I visited was Hyde Park, perhaps the most famous of the royal parks in London. This is a map of Hyde Park. As you can see here, it is very close to Kensington Gardens. It is separated from the Kensington Gardens by the Serpentine Lake. I was under the impression that one could swim in the Serpentine Lake, but I was greeted by a sign which mentioned without a shadow of a doubt that swimming in fact was completely banned. So unfortunately I did not get a chance to swim in the Serpentine Lake. Hyde Park is perhaps the most famous of the royal parks, and it is one of the largest, only slightly smaller than Regent's Park. This is the famous Queen Mother's Gate, one of the entrances to Hyde Park. I managed to shoot another video in Hyde Park explaining how these birds are not scared of human beings. I walked right up close to these pigeons and these ducks. None of them flew away, not a single one of them. I want to live in a country where birds are not scared of human beings. And of course, human beings are not scared of birds. Because birds, let me remind you, can be vicious when they want to be. Not a single bird flew away. Amazing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. I hope I get to see you again in the next video very soon. Take care. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.